The sixth episode of Peacemaker really shocked people, didn't it? Let's talk about it because we had the revelation that it's real. The theory is real. Really, Peacemaker is in an alternate universe where totalitarians and white supremacists have taken power and now rule the United States of America. This theory was already going around behind the scenes because really, every time we see Peacemaker there, in the city, in the waters, in the streets, we notice that everyone is white. Only white people were on the street. And even though I understand that in the United States there are whiter neighborhoods and neighborhoods with more people of color, it's much more segregated than we imagine. I would never cast a group that wasn't diverse without meaning to. There was a reason for that, and I brought it up here, and it really was that. To my surprise, I used the flag I took from the man in the High Castle, Manor High Castle, which is the flag of the United States. With the swastika in place of the stars it was used in the episode, I didn't know. I guessed here, and I was right. So what happened in this universe, right? We know that Detective Comics has Earth X, which even appeared in some episodes of the CW, which is really the universe where Nazi Germany won World War II, and the superheroes are all influenced by that ideology. I'm not sure that's what we're seeing. I don't know if we're seeing an Earth X or an adaptation of Earth X. It might not be that. It might not be that the superheroes, that there are mirrors of Nazi Detective Comics characters in this universe. James Gunn calls it Earth 2, not Earth X. To clarify, it's a separate Earth. I don't know if they're going to reach that level of complexity. I'll talk about that in a moment. In the expectations for the next 2 episodes, which are the last ones, what could have happened then? Pablo, I see 2 options. Or like the man in the High Castle, which is why they use a similar flag. In the man in the High Castle, Roosevelt, he dies in the early 30s. And he can't promote the New Deal, which recovers the United States from the Great Depression. The United States faces a crisis far greater than theirs. From the 1930s to the 1940s, they stay out of World War II. Without the United States, Nazi Germany wins World War II, leading to the events in The Man in the High Castle. That could have happened too in the Peacemaker's world. They're on Earth 2, or Earth X if you prefer, or Earth X is also possible. That might have happened, or there could be another explanation. Sometimes an elected president who has allies among neo-Nazis gradually undermines democracy and gives these supremacist groups control of the country. That's also possible. And then we have the Peacemaker crew entering that universe as well. Thereby, a black woman goes out alone on the street. People on the street see that and we get a clue. She escaped. We have prisons or concentration camps with non-white people inside. That's also a clue about this universe. And Amelia Harcourt leaves the Peacemaker's house, goes to Argos, meets Chris, and talks to him, including a very beautiful scene. Jennifer Holland is doing a great job in this series, and this scene, in fact, was her scene in the series in both the first and second seasons, and I think it was her episode as well. She excels in this episode as both the alternate and Detective Comics, one versions. And Chris's relatives, his brother and his father, not only start to get suspicious, but also begin to realize that there's something wrong with them in the family dynamic. This Chris isn't the one they knew. And what about Economos? When faced with a knife, he drops it and opens his mouth. That's just how John Economos is. And he says that Chris killed the Peacemaker of that universe. And now we have a complicated situation because the bile is being chased. Peacemaker and Harcourt have been exposed. Economos is a prisoner of the White Dragon. And Chris's brother just realized that something very strange is happening. There's Vigilante, who also has great scenes in this episode. Vigilante meets his other self, who is practically identical. A few things have changed. For example, he says, my dad isn't gay, or my dad isn't gay anymore. No, Vigilante, your dad is gay. But he can't come out because we're living in a Nazi world. But he finds himself and everything clicks. They like the same Pokemon, they enjoy the same things. But there's a difference. Vigilante is Peacemaker's enemy in this universe, because not even in an alternate universe would Vigilante be a Nazi. And then you have a very interesting scenario where we could have two Vigilantes fighting together, both of them fighting together. In fact, Vigilante is on the side of those Sons of Liberty who we thought were villains 2 episodes ago. But I mentioned here on the channel that they could be the guys fighting against the supremacist American regime in that universe. That's exactly what's happening. So now we'll have 2 episodes where a lot is going to happen. I wouldn't expect it. Very fantastic things. David Cornsworth, Nazi, more alternative superheroes. That this alternate Earth will be something that will have developments and will go into other movies. These characters will embark on a long journey in the Detective Comics universe. I think it's something that starts and ends in this 2nd season. I think it's something that will stay small. There's no way this series can spend money on big sets, showing a lot of people or lots of superpowers. This series doesn't have that kind of money. It will keep using sets like inside the house, on the street, in the office. It's not going to do anything too over the top. There's no money for that. It's really important for us to remember here that comics accept anything, man. Whatever you draw is in the comic. A television series isn't like that. You can't just put anything you imagine on screen because everything costs money. And I think it's the 2nd season of Peacemaker, even though it's just the last 2 episodes, where we have a higher budget expenditure. I don't think you can expect anything. Not working, man. A war scenario, a Justice League, all evil. I don't think that's going to happen. No. We'll stay there. Focused on the already introduced characters. And there's the whole story of Lex Luthor that I want to work on in another video here on the channel, which you'll see after this one. We'll discuss Lex Luthor in the next video. See you soon. Bye.